Can the very thing that keeps every human, plant, animal, literally every living organism alive, be turned into an investment that actually makes money? That thing I'm talking about is water, and whether we realize it or not, we already turned it into a massive industry. And by the end of this, you'll see how a normal habit quietly becomes a surprisingly large number. At some point, bottled water just became normal. Nobody really decided to start buying it. It just sort of stuck. You go to the grocery store, you grab a case, you put it in a cart without thinking. We all know there's another option, but like clockwork, we keep buying bottled water anyway. It's basically a subscription. It just doesn't come with an unsubscribe button. And I'm not pointing fingers here. My house does this too. That's actually how I even noticed. One day I was holding a bottle and looked at the back, not the nutrition label, the source. And sometimes it's a spring, sometimes it's a mountain, sometimes it's a city not very far from where you already live, which feels less exotic when you already live there. Which is when it hit me. Wait a second, what's the actual difference here? So I ran the numbers. Nothing extreme, just normal human hydration. Science says we should drink somewhere between 2 and 3 liters of water a day. If you do that with bottled water, that comes out to about $780 a year. But if you get it straight from the tap, or even run it through a basic filter, that same 2 to 3 liters a day costs about $1.31 a year. That gap absolutely caught me off guard. And what's wild is how invisible that spending is. You just finish a bottle and replace it, over and over, year after year. That's why this never feels expensive. It doesn't live on a bill, it lives in the cart. And it's not even something you argue with yourself about. You're already there. You're already shopping. You don't say, "Do I want water?" You say, "Which case?" That's when a habit stops feeling like a choice. Quick pause. If this already made you think for a second, hit like. That tells me you're seeing it too. And I know what people say next. Taste. Here's the funny part. I work in water utilities, and we do blind taste tests every month. No labels, no brands, just cups. Some months city water wins, some months it doesn't. What's interesting is nobody can ever tell consistently, which makes the whole thing a little awkward. Because if the taste isn't reliable and the cost difference looks like this, then bottled water stops being about preference. It's just the default. Same hydration, same routine, very different outcome. I'm not anti-bottled water. I just can't unsee what happens when a habit runs quietly for years. And once you see it that way, it's hard not to notice it everywhere else. If this kind of thinking is your thing, subscribe. I keep taking everyday habits we never question and follow them to where they actually lead. There's another one waiting right here.